Good morning. It is Stanley, the wise woman. It is almost not morning. It's the very end of the morning, 11:20 a.m. on Friday, November 16, 2012. So I had the pleasure of sitting for a little while yesterday and listening to HRM. Now, I can't remember his name well enough to tell you what that is, but you can look him up easily. He's the solar power expert, not as in solar panels for your electrical bills and stuff, but as in what the sun is really about, how it affects us as far as illness, disease, reactions, healings, all sorts of interesting information. And it is his not only his passion, but it is also apparently something he's insistent on bringing into the world in its fullness. So apparently, or so he represents. I can't vouch for it. I don't know for sure. But I'm going to take the man at his word. Um, he has numerous scientific and medical documentations for the research that he's doing on sun gazing. So he is the sun gazing expert. Um, I have no doubt that there are plenty of individual ways to worship, adore, relate to, and gain benefits from the sun, which is our number one source of energy, heat, light, and life, actually. Without the sun, there would be nothing to this planet, that's for sure. So, the sun must be good for us, and it's always been my belief that it is. I mean, yeah, there are effects from the sun. I mean, I'm probably a lot more wrinkly and definitely more spotted than it's mirror images, left and right, and but sunspots, age spots, whatever you want to call them, um, they happen because that's what happens, I guess, to skin in the sun. But then apparently there's something about the our atmosphere, the ozone layer, um, magnification because of a number of different reasons. So one must always listen to their inner voice, their inner guidance, their higher wisdom when making decisions about what to do about your own health. Whether you're going to leave it in the hands of science and medical mechanics, or you're going to try all sorts of alternative, non-scientific, perhaps new age or mystical cures, or religious healthcare, or your own personal voice, which will guide you to whatever is best and right for you. And believe me, I say that tongue in cheek because it's such a funny sounding comment. Why should you believe me? I mean, most of you don't even know me. But you can believe me. And I'm going to say, believe me. Your inner voice, when you're able to get past your ego, past the agendas that you have for what you want and what you should and all the beliefs that you hold. It's not as simple as just well, I want this or I want that. Um, when you get past all of the noise in your head and your heart and your body, and listen, truly listen to your inner voice. And there's just a whole lot of ways that, way too much for a little video, but there are ways to recognize your inner voice, to be able to tell what is your inner voice and what is some of the baloney that you think, or that you thought you believed, or I'm so off track this morning. I guess this is what wanted to come up and be shared with you this morning. Um, to finish that thought, it's your inner voice that will lead you to the kind of practices that you take on in your life for your health, well-being, evolution, consciousness, growth, and personal development. Your happiness comes from listening to your inner voice. And you can believe me on that. You don't have to. Try it yourself. Like I said, it takes quite a bit of diligence, determination, intention, practice, discipline to get through to your inner voice. But there are also some simple and usable ways to recognize when you come to that place of saying, I don't know, is that my intuition? Is that my inner voice? Or is that just what I was taught to believe, or what I was told was right, or what someone else wants, or what would look good? When you come to that juncture, there are some clues, and you are invited to email me or call me or whatever you like to make contact, or find some other source of expertise where you can learn what that might be. Today, what I wanted to share with you is, after listening to HRM about sun gazing, because I was watching a number of other people's ideas on sun gazing, and I thought, I better go back and check and see if I'm remembering correctly what the practice is intended to be. So I went back to HRM and found a number of new videos. And so here's something that I kind of think is important for you to know. Not on how to do it. I would prefer not to be your source of information on how to start sun gazing or what to do. Go to HRM or go to sun gazing, solar power, solar gazing, whatever, and get your own instructions, listen to your own voice, and know what's right for you. But a couple of things it was difficult for me to remember. So I'm going to pass it on to you, assuming that a number of people might overlook the same details in getting started. You remember so much, you forget so much. So you probably will not notice anything different about your life, the way you feel, your energy, your appetite, your vision, your health, or anything. You probably won't notice anything until you have accumulated a minimum of 10 minutes of sun gazing. And you may be more sensitive than that. Perhaps, 2 minutes of sun gazing and you'll notice the difference immediately. But for the most part, that's kind of the rule of thumb. If you don't experience any changes and you keep doing it and keep doing it, don't be disappointed. Don't get frustrated. Just know that it's like every other practice. It takes time. It takes practice. This is energy coming into your body very specifically through some receptors, a receiver that is set up for your body to receive the sunlight. And you can look forward to, there will be some reactions in your eyes. You might look for a while, and then when you look away, it's hard to see because you have that secondary image lingering of the sun. And you wonder if you've hurt yourself. If you're gazing in the very first hour of sunrise or the very last hour before sunset, there really should be no ramifications. In fact, it's actually being related to laser treatments, which is a form of controlled radiation, which the sun is the source of. So don't be looking for things in the first, immediately. Please only increase 10 seconds at a time. Don't rush it for a number of reasons. And again, I suggest you go to the internet and Google sun gazing and listen to some experts. I'm simply learning. I'm practicing. And you may or may not find that you don't want to eat in the long run. Um, your need for food apparently is highly diminished. That doesn't mean you lose your appetite for the fun and the flavor and um, the enjoyment of eating. You definitely need to drink a lot of water when you're sun gazing. You need to drink a lot of water anytime. So the rule of thumb is half your body weight. If you weigh 100 pounds, you should drink 50 ounces of water every day. So half your body weight in ounces of water every day. You need to sleep 7.5 hours or more every night, especially women. But everyone, you need to sleep. It's the only time your body regenerates. I don't know why I'm going into all of this, actually. I just wanted to let you know my sun gazing is up to, where am I, 4 minutes and 30 seconds. This morning I managed to catch the sun coming out of one cloud and going into the next cloud, but the clouds are so bright at, I think I was out finally at, oh, let's see, 6:30-ish. The sun comes up here because it's behind a little hill. Um, I probably got out there to do some gazing right around 7:10. And that was, you know, getting close to an hour after sunrise, real sunrise, horizon sunrise, which I can't see because of all the things in the way. So it's always a little late for me. If the sun rises at 6:30, I won't actually see it where I am until about 6:40, about 10 minutes later, just because of the position I'm in geographically. Um, so 10 minutes after 7 o'clock is probably 40, 45 minutes after sunrise. And so the sun is pretty potent at that time. And even though it was behind a cloud, um, I gazed with my eyes closed, which is another technique that is mentioned by HRM and has been tested scientifically as to what that warrants. But I felt good about that. So I'm up to 4 minutes and 30 seconds. The next sitting tomorrow, hopefully, will be 4 minutes and 40 seconds. After my sun gazing, it was so pretty coming through the clouds. I took a picture for you, and I'll be posting that on my blog at StanleePanelleCoaching.com. And then I went in the other direction. Of course, the sun comes up in the east, and I live in the west, so there's a lot between me and the horizon, the eastern horizon. And so I went to the beach and went for a walk. Excuse me, it was so pretty coming across the sky from the east, cloudy, sun, cloudy, gray, bright, lit clouds and cloudy, and then on the western horizon, ooh, dark, stormy clouds. So I walked in the grayness again today, and the shades of gray from pure white light to deep, dark horizon. You know, that's kind of like the story of our lives. There are so many shades of gray, so many infinite, unlimited possibilities between the black and the white, the up and the down, the right and the left, the here and the there, between what we think we know and what someone else thinks they know, between what we believe that is right and what we believe is wrong. There is so much gray area. Here's an interesting thing. You know, we can't argue too much about the gray area. As soon as everyone in the discussion agrees that there is gray area, we're okay. The only time people ever argue is on the right point or the wrong point. And the interesting thing about that is that logically that actually is evidence of proving that there is no exact right thing and or exact wrong thing. It's always arguable. What I think is wrong, you might not think is so wrong. What I think is right may be completely wrong for you, etc. The points of the singular point of right and the singular point of wrong are the only things that people argue about. What the gray area, the potential, the possibilities in between are, there's no argument about that. It kind of makes you think a little bit, doesn't it? I hope you have a really wonderful, blessed day. I know this is awfully long. I don't know what happened. I guess I'm just on a roll. A lot of input this morning. Have a beautiful, wonderful Friday. And if I don't reach out to you again on the weekend, have a beautiful weekend. Enjoy every minute of it. Breathe. And enjoy the breath. Bye-bye for now. There it is. Bye-bye.